Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another amazing episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the Monarch of Mardi Gras, the Baroness of Bourbon Street. When she's not co-hosting Ringside Society, she goes on crazy misadventures, such as going back to 1885 for freshly churned butter, picking fights with random people while dressed up as one of the Road Warriors, and looking for the fabled Cobra Kai Dojo, Louisiana's own Kathy Knight. And in the second corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always positive, life is great, repping 592, living in the 718, no cap, straight facts, the worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. And joining us tonight is a man, if you have been following us, that was actually on our 50 Minutes of Fandom segment. That's right, 50 Minutes of Fandom, where we show love to the fans by actually putting the spotlight on them and, pretty much asking them about their love for pro wrestling, how it started, what it means to them, and so on. So with that being said, straight from ATL, where the peaches grow, the one place where I can't go, or else I'll actually gain 20 pounds in a matter of 24 hours. Everybody, welcome to the show, Mike Glove.
Woo! Kathy, Remy, what's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
Nothing much, man. Hey, it's great to have you back on, man.
Hey, it's great to be back. Thank you for having me back. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so for those of y'all that don't know, if somebody's been on 50 Minutes of Fandom before, don't be surprised if you see them back on for one of our prediction shows, one of our topics, because, it's always good to, chop it up with fellow fans about pro wrestling and so on. So with that being said, what we're going to do tonight, we will be giving our predictions for AEW Double or Nothing this year. And man, I tell you, 13 matches. Wow. We ain't
13,
going home till
13 good matches too. That they all have their own little bit of meaning. So I think it's a good set of matches. It'll be a really good card. What do you think, Kathy?
I think too. So too, yeah. It's not a lot of sports entertainment and filler like another promotion that Jericho likes to, the Jericho Appreciation Society. Sports entertainment, that might be the only part of sports entertainment there, but yeah, they can pull 13 matches off. They have pretty good timing.
We ain't going home till like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, man. This is like WrestleMania 2019 all over again.
I mean, isn't this their number two? It's their number 2 platform show, right?
I have no clue what their number 1 platform show is. I mean, I know for Impact, I think it's Slammiversary. For Ring of Honor, it's the Super Card.
I think for AEW, I think is it All In?
What? Yeah, wouldn't it be All In?
I have no clue. I have if you ask me, like if that was a trivia question, I'd probably lose it. But either way, it's a lot of great matches. It's gonna be a fun time. I'm not getting cut a check for this, but for those of you that are living in New York like I am, if you don't want to watch it in your own house, if you want to go and mingle with some friends, fellow wrestling fans, and so on, the Jobber Tears podcast, one of the most popular podcasts, in my opinion, in pro wrestling, they're actually hosting a watch party at Legends in New York City. I believe it's 33rd Street between 5th and 6th. If you want to go there and have some drinks and shoot the breeze with fans and watch some wrestling and whatnot, definitely head on over there. It's gonna start I think at 7 o'clock. The real show starts at 8 o'clock, but they're starting at 7 or 6 o'clock. So definitely feel free to head on over there if you don't want to be alone at home and whatnot. But before we go any further, to those of y'all that are actually in the chat, feel free to actually leave your opinions, your comments on who you think is going to win or what's going to happen and so on. Basically, we're going to go match by match, call a winner, and we might even give a prediction as to who may turn heel, who may turn face, what alliances may happen, what alliances may dissolve, all that good stuff. So definitely feel free to give your opinions. We're all about fan interaction as well too, because we are the Wrestling Fans Podcast. So I see we have a Facebook user that said it's all in. Georgia, if that's you, thanks. Unfortunately, for some reason, Facebook does not let us see who's commenting. It just shows up as Facebook user. So if you can identify yourself, feel free, if you want to identify yourself, feel free. We're not going to hold anything against you. But yeah, Facebook, I don't know, they have their own weird thing. But anyways, Double or Nothing 2022, man. How do y'all feel about this card?
Well, the card for me is headlined in a few different ways. We have some really big folks that are getting back onto the major fold that have been let go by some of those other companies, as Kathy touched on earlier. Um, we have the Owen Hart finals with Samoa Joe and Adam Cole, and that'll be a great matchup. It's one that we haven't seen on the main stage too often. CM Punk is finally getting his first title shot in what, 8 years now. So that's going to be great. With his first title shot since he lost it to The Rock. Um, we also have the TNT title. Hopefully, it will get defended. I think that might be an added 14th match just in case. But hopefully they, I know Scorpio just got his new title tonight, so we'll see if him and the Spanish god Sammy Guevara can get anything going. But I mean, there's a lot of things. Some legacy tag team match. With the Young Bucks versus the Hardys. I mean, it's all over the place. Kathy, what you got?
There's something for everybody. I mean, there's 13 matches, their own little main events. You could pick and choose. MJF and Warlow, that's a main event. They're all
Hmm.
main events in their own right. So there's something for everybody. There's 13 matches, and it's going to be a good show. People will go home happy. You muted, Remy.
I was trying to do that. Um, yeah, a lot of these matches, like they have a great build up behind them, and they all have meaning, and they all like bring an excitement to them, and it's going to be very interesting to see, you know, how they play, how they play along, and what the outcome is, and so on. So the first match that we have is going to be on the pre-show. It's a tag team match, and it's going to be the team of Hookhausen, which is Hook and Danhausen, versus Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. So I'm just going to go around the room once again. I'm going to give my opinion last. Um, but if anybody here wants to, like I said, for those of y'all in the comments, feel free to give your opinions as well too, and we'll definitely highlight them and so on. Shana, you're actually right. It's an excellent card on deck, and we're definitely looking forward to it. So, Kathy, who you got for this match?
It's got to be Hookhausen. Going with them.
Okay, Mike, who you got, man?
Man, I'm going with the baby faced assassin. I'm going with Hook and Danhausen.
All right, I'm gonna be the bad guy here, and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go with Tony Nese on Smart Mark Sterling. I'm sorry, but I know, yeah, Hooky comes out to Action Bronson's music, and he comes out like a bad man, and him and Hookhouse, him and Danhausen, they're kind of like the new like RK Bro, Rock and Sock Connection, whatever odd pairing you have. But I've known of Tony Nese for 10 years. The man is a top tier talent. He is one of the top class athletes, a well-traveled man that's been to Japan. And I know, yeah, Hook has gotten a couple of great victories over people. He even beat QT Marshall. But Tony Nese brings an intensity to him. And I know, like I said, I know there's a lot of hype around Hook, but I'm gonna have to go with Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. And if Hookhausen manages to take it, I'm gonna have to say Hook is going to learn today. He's going to learn today. That's my thing. That's what I'm gonna go with Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling.
Don't forget, Hook every challenge that's been put in front of him, not only has he answered the call, he actually looks extremely impressive.
Yeah.
On top of the fact that while Hook and Danhausen might be a bit of an odd pairing, it's smart Mark Sterling here. You
Oh
said a
yeah.
whole lot. You said a lot of great stuff about Tony Nese, but can you really say the same about smart Mark Sterling? So while we have our strengths and our liabilities on both sides, I still think it gives it an interesting mix for a really good match.
Okay. I don't know much about Smart Mark. I heard he had some training before he got signed to AEW. I've seen his name around. I don't know much of the guy. All I know is he's a guy with gray hair that's apparently well versed in law, and he wrestled. He trained a bit. I think it's up in New York, maybe Creative Pro or NYWC. One of those places that I think it's probably the same place where Nice trained at. But I heard he had some training, so it'll be interesting to see how he plays out in this match. Will he be a liability or will he actually be an asset? Will he be like Logan Paul? Will he will he actually show us something that we didn't know was there? So the next match we have now we're on to the main card. So we have a singles match for the AEW TBS Championship. It's the defending champion Jade Cargill versus Anna Jay. Kathy, who we got for this one?
As much as I like Anna Jay, I think Jade, there's no stopping her. She's like a train. And I don't know who's going to stop her, but she's on a roll, and I think she's going to keep that roll going. So I'm going to go with Jade.
Okay. Mike, how about you?
Hey man, shout out to the baddies, man. Jay Cargill is gonna have this hands down. I know Anna Jay has a nice little story. Lady representing the Dark Order, but Jade Cargill, like Kathy said, there's no stopping this train right now. And speaking of which, for the ladies matches, I'm trying to figure out which one of the three is going to be the biggest one. They all carry their own major hype, so I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Jade Cargill on this one. Anna Jay's gonna put up a bit of a fight, but I think this is gonna all be Jade Cargill. It's gonna really take somebody special to stop her. She's on a roll,
Mm.
and I like where she's going. And yeah, it's gonna be a fight, but Jade Cargill's gonna she's gonna take this one. That's my prediction. The next match we have is a 6-man tag team match, and man, these teams have been at it for probably I'd say the better part of a year, and I would actually say it's kind of up. This feud is as intense as the Usos versus the New Day. Heck, I'd even go further back in the year and say as intense as the Road Warriors versus Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. We have the House of Black, which consists of Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, and Brody King, versus the Death Triangle, which consists of Pac, Penta Oscuro, and Ray Phoenix. Why is he named Oscuro now? What's I don't know what's the deal with that? Maybe I don't know. I guess it's some legal thing. But yeah, we got that going on. Kathy, who you got?
Man, every time I pick against House of Black, they win. But because I'm gonna pick House of Black for tomorrow or Sunday, Death Triangle's probably gonna win. So I'm gonna go with House of Black. But I wouldn't be surprised if Death Triangle wins, just because it's backwards. It always is.
Okay. All right, Mike, who you got?
Cielo, mierdo. I'm
Okay.
going with Death Triangle, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely go with the Death Triangle here too. It's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. Although they have custody of Julia Hart, right?
Mm,
Y'all remember that angle where no, I'm not talking where what was it? Who was it? Alistair. Well, not call him not Alistair Black. Malachi Black sprayed black mist into Julia's eyes. I'm
I
talking about the
think
one
they
where
tried to pull an abduction angle, but I don't think it worked.
yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if she actually plays a part in this match. because last time we checked, she wasn't with the Varsity Blondes, but she wasn't really with House of Black. So it's going to be interesting to see where this leads her, if she plays a part in this match. But I'm gonna go with the Death Triangle. They're looks like they're ready to actually get a W this time. The next match we have is a tag team match, and I can never get tired of seeing these two battle, even though their battles have been short and few. It's the Hardys, Matt and Jeff, versus the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson. And a lot of people have actually likened Matt and Nick's attire, and it's kind of true to the early attire of the Hardys that they wore circa the mid '90s in the WWF when it was known as WWF, and they've sort of compared them to the Hardys, but I don't really see that much of a comparison because Matt and Jeff are actually like creative as hell. So, Kathy, who you got for this?
Well, the Young Bucks actually dressed up as the Hardys on Rampage, if for y'all that didn't see it, which was pretty cool. But I'm gonna go with the Hardys. It's definitely a dream match for some people, and I think it's gonna be a good one. But I think the Hardys will end up winning.
Yeah, but Dream Match, didn't that happen already? I mean, I think it happened in Ring of Honor.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
Well,
there was a point. I think it was what 2017. This was when like they actually before they made their return, they did like they left Impact. This is after the whole delete and the whole House of Hardy thing. That little thing that they did that everybody went bonkers over in Impact, and then they had a brief spell, like a really brief spell in Impact, and then like the next month or I think the next week they end up over in WWE. So they did cross paths before. It was a one-time thing though, but I wouldn't mind seeing it again. Mike,
I think this match leaves a lot of intrigue in terms of having a full out brawl. Because you're right, their last you know crossing of paths was quite short. It wasn't anything major. But now this stage at this pay per view, I think is going to give them the opportunity to, really show the admiration for each other. Like Kathy said, they dressed up as the Hardys tonight. On Rampage. I think Nick even pulled his version of a swanton. So while imitation of is your greatest form of flattery, I don't think it works. Sunday night at the pay per view. The Hardys have something to prove. I know Jeff really feels like he has something to prove after how, he unceremoniously was let go from his last gig. So, I know they want to end their careers on the right path, being 25 plus year vets. So I look forward to a great match, but I think the Hardys pulled this one out.
yeah, I think the Hardys are definitely gonna pull it off. They've been a tag team longer. Don't get me wrong, the Young Bucks have been killing it, but the Hardys have been around longer. They've faced tag teams all over the world, and not only are they great tag team wrestlers, but they're also pretty great singles wrestlers too.
Mhm.
So that is a big plus. And we all know the Young Bucks. I mean, once you get one of them in a singles match, it's they're not really that good. I'm sorry. I mean, they're a great tag team, but singles, nah. Stick to what you know. I'm gonna have to give it to the Hardys, and yeah, but it's definitely gonna be a classic to watch. The next match that we have, this is gonna be a funny one. I already know it. It's gonna be a funny one. It's an Anarchy in the Arena match. We have the Jericho Appreciation Society, which consists of Chris Jericho, Matt Maynard, Angelo Parker, Daniel Garcia, and Jake Hager versus the team of Eddie Kingston, Santana, Ortiz, and the Blackpool Combat Club, which consists of Brian Danielson and John Moxley. Kathy, who you got for this one?
gotta go with Eddie, Santana, Ortiz, and the BCC.
Okay.
They are gonna put a hurting on the Jericho Appreciation Society, especially Eddie and Chris. Like he threw a fireball in his face. Come on. It's
Because he's
gonna
a
be
wizard.
yeah, he's a wizard. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty chaotic and pretty brutal, I think, and I think they'll pull it off. They'll beat the Jericho Appreciation Society.
You know, why couldn't WWE let this Chris Jericho be? Like, why couldn't they just let him? I mean, come on. You try to tell me that. Okay, I know WWE is a family friendly product. But you try to tell me that the stuff that Jericho is doing now is not family friendly? Come on.
No,
Like, I mean,
no.
okay, some of the stuff, but
Fireballs are not friendly. I'm sorry, they're not.
Uh, I,
but
I,
then,
we have to look at it for the genius that he is. But again, there's sports entertainment, and then I mean, hopefully we can say it on the show. Then there's Vince's entertainment. And there's a big difference, but even between sports entertainment and then Vince's entertainment. So we always have to be cognizant of that. But no, Jericho is he's a legend. He's probably the greatest reinventor of a character there's ever been in the sport. Um, but in terms of this match, uh, I don't really see this conglomerate of Jericho and 2.0 and the random Daniel Garcia, the MMA artist and Jake Hager. They're no, I got Kingston, I got Santana Ortiz and the Blackpool Combat Club. We got Daniel Bryan still trying to prove he's the greatest technician in the game, and John Moxley he's still a star, and people got to respect that. The man gets it done. He's healthy, and I feel like he's got a chip on his shoulder, something that we haven't really seen since he was having those battles back with Kenny Omega, back in the early AEW days.
yeah, but to me, we're getting to see a bit more. John Moxley, the John Moxley that we're seeing right now, is what Dean Ambrose should have been. And to me, when I saw Dean Ambrose, it was like somebody's uncle who was struggling like to be something that he's not. Like somebody's uncle that is really is like somebody like somebody that's on their meds, but they really don't want to be on their meds. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. You know,
Currently he's Dean Ambrose without the cue card.
yeah. So that's where he really needs to be, like right where he's at in AEW. And I like it. I mean, I'm cool with it. But so you say you're going with the team of Eddie, Santana Ortiz, and the Blackpool Combat Club, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with that team too as well. I think they're definitely gonna pull it off. There's gonna be some. I have a good feeling that there's gonna be some hilarity in this match as well too. You're gonna probably see some spots like, what the hell are they doing? Did they just do that? Like, I think
Does anybody want to predict how many additional people will be in this match outside of the 5-on-5? I'm pretty sure Regal will find a way to sneak an elbow or knee or a punch into the match.
Yeah. Um, I think a fireball is gonna be incorporated somehow too. I think it's gonna happen again.
Very
I
possible.
think it's gonna happen.
Probably a misplaced one. I can see a misplaced one. Like he'll end up getting his teammate or something. I can see that happening.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to the outlandish spot. I remember the thing. I think one of them they had Sammy Guevara running from a golf cart,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think there was another anarchy in the arena where I think Matt Hardy was trying to. Was that anarchy in the arena? I think he was trying to
It
show
was a
Sammy.
Stadium Stampede match. This is the different version of the Stadium Stampede, since they're in an arena opposed to being back in Jacksonville, at Daly's Place and next to the football stadium.
Okay. Yeah, there's gonna be some outlandishness. I already know it.
Oh yeah, they'll have it. This will be something similar to the Money in the Bank at the corporate headquarters. Let's think
Oh
about
yeah.
it that way.
Oh, that was That wasn't really that bad though. They should
It
probably bring that
wasn't.
back.
It really wasn't. So
They should,
so if they do it right and with Jericho involved, I think this has a chance to be pretty special in a comedic sense.
yeah, they should definitely bring that back. They should keep on that. That would definitely be something to look forward to at Money in the Bank. So the next match we have is a singles match, and it's going to be between Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF, versus his former second in command or enforcer or bodyguard or whatever he was, Wardlow. If Wardlow wins, he will be granted his release from his contract with MJF. If MJF wins, Wardlow will be permanently banned from signing with AEW. Kathy, we got for this one?
Oh, like, dear sweet baby Jesus, let Wardlow win and beat the out of MJF.
Okay, that just might happen. MGF just doesn't seem to learn though, man. Like first it was CM Punk, now we who you got, Mike?
So if this Wednesday was a preview of what the possibilities are, um, you know, I'm going Wardlow 10 toes down. We know the chairman Sean Spears is going to get involved some way somehow. That's coming. Um, MJF is going to have a few things up his sleeve. We know that's coming. Um, I I'm picking Wardlow, but I just wouldn't be surprised if MJF brings out all the stops. I mean, from the ring to Sean Spears to calling in some insurance policy. I mean, we can go real far left with this one. So, but
Honest,
yeah, I'm going with Kathy. I hope Wardlow beats the stuffing out of Doc Stuffins, MJF.
honestly speaking, you say they can go far left. I would not mind if for some, AEW doesn't. I would not mind if Richard Holiday, who was MJF's tag team partner, stablemate back in MLW, who has pretty much a similar gimmick. I don't know if he said, but he had a similar gimmick to MJF. I wouldn't mind seeing him get involved, and also this other guy that was in their stable, Hammerstone. I would not mind seeing that stable in AEW. They were pretty good. Uh, Part of me wishes AEW would have signed all three of them, but that's wrestling. I guess they don't want. They try not to be like the other. A lot of times they try not to be like the other company, but I wouldn't mind seeing that happen. I wouldn't be mad at all. My pick is gonna be Wardlow. Wardlow is gonna beat the crap out of MJF. He's gonna have something up his sleeve. I mean, obviously, because I mean, he Wardlow has a size advantage, but ultimately Wardlow is gonna win this. So the
Wardlow's
next
gonna Wardlow's gonna beat the fake tan off of MJF.
yeah, it's gonna be crazy. CM Punk almost killed him last time.
Yeah.
I mean, when I didn't know much about CM Punk before WWE, but when I saw that he came out with different music, which was apparently his old music and his old
Mhm.
attire, the fans that were near me went crazy, and they were like, "Oh no, MJF is in trouble. This is the old CM Punk, the brutal one." I'm like,
Oh yeah.
"Wow," and then they were definitely right about that. So the next match we have is the Women's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament Final, and it's going to be Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus Ruby Soho. Kathy, we got for this one?
As much as I want Ruby to win, I think DMD's taking it.
Okay, Mike, who you got?
I'm going with Britt Baker. That's the head pick. The heart pick is Ruby Soho. Um, she put up she had a great match tonight against Chris Statlander, to make it to the finals. And the brief brush up nose to nose where she shut down Britt Baker, tonight on the show. They're in for a battle. I have a little more faith in the doctor to go on ahead and take this one in.
Okay, that's wow. This could go either way because when Ruby Soho first came in, She challenged Dr. Britt Baker for her title, the title she had at the time, the AEW Women's title, was unsuccessful with that. Now she's going for, I guess it's a trophy that they're winning in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament final. If Ruby doesn't win this, it's gonna affect her psyche. Because now you couldn't beat Britt Baker for her title. You couldn't even beat, and now you can't even beat her for a trophy. So that's gonna mess with her. It wouldn't be surprising if they had Britt Baker win, because her boyfriend is also in the other in the
Owen Hart men's final.
Yeah, in the Owen Hart men's final. So it wouldn't be surprised if they actually had them do like a power couple thing, which would be cool. And then you actually have them just launch off as the next It stable with Red Dragon and all that. I would like Ruby Soho to win, but the way the fans booed her, that's another thing too. It would not surprise me if she takes a crazy heel turn. I think Dr. Britt Baker's gonna take this though. I really think she's gonna take this.
Yeah.
So the next match that we have is the men's Owen Hart Foundation tournament final, and it's gonna be the Samoan submission machine Samoa Joe versus Adam Cole. And stipulation: Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and Satnam Singh, who have actually caused Samoa Joe problems in the past with his matches, they're barred from ringside. So this is going to be, mano y mano. But they're barred from ringside. You still got Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly and possibly Britt Baker to deal with too. So it's going to be interesting. Kathy, who you got?
So I would hope it stays one-on-one, but like you said, yeah, there could be interference. But if it does stay one-on-one, I see Samoa Joe winning.
Okay. Mike, how about you?
This could go a few different ways. So I have a major prediction and spoiler. So for those that don't want to hear the surprise, you might want to get some earmuffs. You said two names, Remy, that I think will be pretty pivotal, but you left one name out. Roderick Strong.
He's still signed to WWE. He's not going anywhere.
Remember, that deal didn't go through.
Oh,
Roderick Strong and NXT, they completely disabled Diamond Mine. So he did not resign. And there's a chance that he could come over. So just in case you haven't seen him on TV in a while now. And remember, with NXT, that's only a 30-day turnaround time for non-compete for TV purpose. So there's a very good chance, if we haven't seen him, in about 4 weeks or so, there's a very good chance that he could also be somebody to help out Adam Cole tonight. But if this is truly a one-on-one match, so I guess we have a couple asterisks on this one. I'm going to go Samoa Joe on this one. But if Adam Cole gets that additional help and we really see the new UE, come about, Bay might get away with this one.
So I'm gonna stick to my guns and say Adam Cole, because Adam Cole, Samoa Joe, they actually worked on that arm. So
yeah,
I think he's gonna work on that arm. And the thing about Adam Cole that I've noticed, if I had to liken him to anybody else from the 80s, it would be Ric Flair. The way he moved with Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, and even with Roderick Strong as the Undisputed Era in WWE NXT, they were very similar to the way the Four Horsemen were. Maybe even better, because they all interfered in each other's matches. I mean, the Four Horsemen, everybody helped out in Ric Flair's matches, but Ric Flair never, to my knowledge, never really helped out in Arn and Tully's, or even Ole's, or whoever the other fourth member was, whether it was Barry or Lex Luger. But Adam was there for helping out in Roderick's matches, helping out in Red Dragon's matches. So they were very similar to the way the Four Horsemen operated. And another thing with the Four Horsemen was you couldn't really have them see your injury because they will deliberately work on it. I have a feeling that injured left arm that Samoa Joe has is gonna pretty much, play a factor in him, taking an L on this one. So I'm gonna have to give it to Adam Cole. He's gonna get this, and like I said, him and Britt Baker, they're gonna be the power couple that wins. Which, and I wouldn't. That's pretty. That'd be pretty cool. They'll be the power couple that the first people to win are actual real life couple, and they both win trophies in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. That looks pretty cool.
I want to correct myself real quick. So Roderick Strong requested his release about 3-4 weeks ago. I'm not sure if they granted it. He does still have time on the current contract. He didn't sign the extension. So I just wanted to correct myself on that. So if he got a release, we could see him. If he didn't, then, maybe it'll stay that one-on-one.
It wouldn't be surprising. His girl's over there too. His wife's over there, Marina Shafir. So it wouldn't be surprising if he hops over there.
Definitely.
The next match we have is a 3-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. We have the defending champions, Jurassic Express, which is Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, versus Team Taz, which is the team of Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, versus the newly formed team of Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. Kathy, you got for this one?
So at first I put a question mark because I didn't really know where this was going to go. It could be anybody could take it really. But I think I'll keep Jurassic Express as retaining.
Okay. Mike, how about you? Who you got?
I actually think that there's going to be a heist. I think this is going to be the one championship match where the champions don't retain, but the champion also doesn't get pinned. I think I think Ricky Starks is going to get revenge for his loss in the triple threat match against Swerve Strickland and Jungle Boy, and he's going to figure out a way to him and Hobbs to take a steal for this one, so that he can really claim dominance over not only just the division, but to one up Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland after what happened. So let's go with Team Taz, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks.
Okay. Well, let's see. Oh, this is a tough one. But I got a feeling that Team Taz is going to take it. They've pretty much gelled together. Although Keith Lee and Swerve, they've actually shown that they can work pretty well together. But I got a feeling that those tag team titles are going home to Team Taz. So now they're gonna have 3 belts, the tag team titles and the FTW title. Yeah, Team Taz is definitely gonna take this one. So the next match that we have is a singles match for the AEW Women's World Championship. Woo! This one's gonna be a hot one. It's gonna be intense, and somebody gonna learn today. Matter of fact, both of them gonna learn today. We got the defending champion Thunder Rosa, La Mera Mera, versus a woman who's been developing a vicious streak over the last couple of months. On top of that, she's pretty nice in the ring, very nice in the ring, crisp, like a brand new minted $100 bill. Talk about Serena Deeb. No cap. I remember 8 years ago, I was at a Bombshell Ladies of Wrestling card in New Jersey, and the best match of that night and one of the best matches of that year was her versus Mia Yim. That match was crisp. I enjoyed it. Kathy, you got for this one?
So we were talking about earlier how like all 13 matches could be their little main events. Like this one's going to be, I think, the dark horse of the whole show. It's going to be a barn burner. It's going to be awesome. Serena Deeb's going to take it to Thunder Rosa, but I don't think Thunder Rosa's yet ready to let go of that belt just yet. So I'm going to go with Thunder Rosa.
Okay. Mike, how about you? Who you got?
I can almost repeat everything Kathy said, with the exception of the winner. I actually think Serena Deeb will take this one. The matches that she had with Hikaru Shida, really just kind of it took it to a whole nother level. we think of strong style. We think of, you know, big guys, you know, big meaty men slapping meat, or, you know, really big guys, you know, just hammering at each other. Serena Deeb can, she can dole it out and she can take it. You know, we've seen a lot of iterations of her over the years, and I just really think that right now, it's her time to hold that title. We might be looking at the next great feud in AEW for the ladies division. So yeah, I'm looking at Serena Deeb to take this one.
I honestly have a feeling Serena's going to take it as well too. It's going to be a hell of a fight, you know. And both women are almost evenly matched in terms of skill, but Serena has the edge because Serena's been doing this since she was like, I think 20. I remember like she was in WWE around 2010, so she was doing this for at least 10 years when she
Straight
did the
Edge
whole.
Society.
Mhm. And if memory serves me correct, she has actually. As a matter of fact, I could look it up right now. She has actually.
She's referred to it on the show a few times, you know, about getting her head shaved and, you know, really doing anything to show that she was, you know, really willing to, you know, dedicate her heart and soul into the business. But where did it get her? And now she's taken that fervor and she's produced it into a championship opportunity.
So Serena Deeb has 17 years of experience. 17 years. She started at 19 years old. So fresh out of high school, barely a year in college, she's been doing this. I think this is her time. And plus, now that she has the killer streak, she's at that point where it's like enough is enough. And not to quote the late great, I mean, to my bad. You know what? Forget it. To quote the late great Owen Hart, enough is enough, and it's time for a change. And we saw it with the way she was with Hikaru Shida. And as much as I got a lot of love for Thunder Rosa, and I know that she's been through a lot of brutal matches as much as Serena Deeb, I think Serena's going to take it. She's definitely going to take it. So the next match we have is a singles match, and it's good. I actually call this a vengeance match. It's going to be a revenge match. It's going to be Kyle O'Reilly versus Darby Allin. You know, Kyle O'Reilly I was the one that I was actually responsible for injuring Sting, and now we got Darby Allin, you know, pretty much coming to get some to avenge his mentor and whatnot. Kathy, you got for this one?
So just like you said, what you just said, I agree with that. Like he's coming for revenge, to avenge things. Darby is nuts, and as much as Kyle is a technician and everything like that, Darby's probably gonna win. I pick Darby.
Okay, Mike,
Yeah,
who you got?
I think the apprentice defends his master, and Darby will get his vengeance for Sting. And um, not to mention, we did just witness back on Wednesday, Kyle O'Reilly had a really crazy match with Samoa Joe, and they gave it to him. Um, you know, they mentioned, you know, all the cupping treatment that Kyle was going through, because, you know, he's trying to still get a lot of flexibility back in those shoulders. He's taking a lot of hard bumps. So who knows what his health is looking like, you know, heading into this match. Um, I'm gonna go with Darby on this one.
So I've always seen Kyle O'Reilly as a guy that people sleep on. Not y'all per se, but you know, the man is world champion. The man is world champion material. He's a former Ring of Honor world champion, and he's had a couple of brutal matches as well. Yeah, Darby Allin's nuts. Yeah, you're right, Kath. He's nuts. The man does all these crazy things, jumping off ropes, jumping off chairs. But this is Kyle O'Reilly, a martial artist, submission magician, submission specialist. So, in my opinion, Darby could do all them jumps and all them dives and whatnot, but when Kyle catches you, he catches you, and it's a wrap. So, I'm gonna give this to Kyle because I know what the man brings, and I know what he's capable of. And after seeing him be so good enough that he won the Ring of Honor World Championship from Adam Cole, and the brutal matches those two have had in across Ring of Honor and even WWE, Kyle can go. So I'm gonna give this to Kyle O'Reilly. I know Darby Allin was trying to do an honorable thing and avenge his mentor, but let Sting do that, man. Trust me, Kyle's gonna end it. So the next match we have is a 6-person mixed tag team match. It's gonna be the team of Sammy Guevara, Frankie Kazarian, and Tay Conti versus Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, and I'm sorry, I'm just trying to look at the card, and Paige Van Zant, UFC fighter Paige Van Zant. Now, the stipulation for this match is if Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, and Paige Van Zant are victorious, then Sammy Guevara nor Frankie Kazarian can challenge for the TNT Championship for as long as Scorpio Sky is the champion. Kathy, you got for this one?
So I had put a question mark at first, didn't know who to think, what to think, but because of that stipulation, I don't. I think Sammy, Frankie, and Ty will probably win because Sammy keeps winning the TNT Championship all the time, and it wouldn't be fair for Frankie to not have to have another go at it too. So I see them winning.
Oh man, it's crazy how time changes. Frank Kazarian and Scorpio Sky were former tag team champions in SCU. As a matter of fact, uh, Frankie pretty much took Scorpio under his wing and made him a part of SCU back in Ring of Honor and gave him that chance to shine because before that, Scorpio wasn't really doing that much. Great talent, don't get me wrong, very talented guy, but he just wasn't doing that much. And they gave him that shot and he made something of himself. Yeah, this is gonna be it's well, the awkward moments have passed because I mean Frank Kazarian and Scorpio Sky have faced each other before, and we all know how that ended. But they always say the best competitors are what they say best. Well, what they say, good friends, better enemies. This is going to be one of those matches. Mike, who you got?
So I could see this going a couple of ways. While I would like to see Sammy Guevara and Frankie Kazarian win, I think the reason why I want them to win though is because I want to see them face each other to see who's going to get that title shot. I think the road to getting that title shot is probably going to be more entertaining than the actual title shot, unless they just make the anticipation that great. So I have a feeling Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, Paige Van Zant, they're going to find a way to underhand, find a way to steal it. So I'm going to give them the win tonight. So Scorpio Sky, Paige Van Zant, Ethan Page for the win tonight or Sunday.
Man, I'm gonna go with Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, and Paige Van Zant, and it's gonna be. Oh, I'm looking forward to that Paige Van Zant and Tay Conti. That showdown, that match has to happen eventually.
Their one-on-one needs to happen. I think they're gonna hopefully save that for Rampage.
And the thing is,
they need a good primetime spot for that.
The thing is, Paige Van Zant, she's a UFC fighter, obviously, but at the same time, Tay Conti's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So Tay is no slouch. I mean, the only thing is that she doesn't have an MMA record. So it'd be very interesting to see how this goes between these two. I'll definitely be watching that.
Everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth.
There you go. I actually saw that documentary with that gang guy. It was a gang member that actually fought Tyson, that's a whole other story. But yeah, I'm gonna give this to the team of Sky, Page, and Van Zant. So the next match, the main event, is a singles match for the AEW World Championship. We have the defending champion, Hangman Adam Page, versus the Second City Saint, CM Punk. Kathy, you got for this one?
So this one too, I had a question mark. Had to think about it for a while. As much as I like Hangman, I feel like his reign's been a little bit lackluster. I mean, he did have the two really cool Born Burner matches with Bryan Danielson. He had a cool match with Adam Cole, but there's just there's something missing, and it's like, is it gonna be Punk's night? And I kind of think it will be. We might have a new champion, and I went with CM Punk.
Okay. Mike, how about you?
I'm going to pick up where Kathy left off. Is this going to be the match that puts that feather in Hangman's cap, like she said, that'll hopefully really put some shine on this championship run of his that has been quite lackluster? Even with those matches, the promos, they feel real personal, but they feel kind of bratty. It has a level of entitlement that I still feel like in his still very young career, I'm not really sure if Hangman's really earned that level of prestige to kind of act that way. To be really honest, so I'm trying to really figure out, is CM Punk really going to be that extra feather in his cap that's really going to help legitimize this championship run, or is it going to be the night where Phillip Brooks, has that next big step in his career? We've seen all the old matches. We know the dream. We wanted him back. We got him back now. And I mean, outside of MJF, pulling the wool over everybody's eyes and cheating to get that one blemish on the record, CM Punk hasn't missed, man. I understand everybody has something to say about taking time off, but the man has fresh legs. He wasn't hurt for 6 years, sans the 1 year where, he was UFC fighting and lost his mind. But hey, everybody takes a chance. MJ played baseball. So I think this is the opportunity where, CM Punk goes on ahead and he takes AEW to their next step and leads them into the summer months and their next big pay-per-view of All In later on and getting into the fall.
I just got a serious, as Matt Hardy would call it, premonition with this whole thing. So, who are Adam Punk's? I'm going to call him Adam Punk. Who are Adam Page's friends in AEW?
He doesn't have any anymore.
No, the Dark Order.
Dark Order.
I was gonna say that. I mean, the Dark Order will come out to defend him, but I mean, he's not going to ask them to come out though.
Who is in the Dark Order? Who specifically is in the Dark Order? Think about it. Think long and hard. That is actually affiliated. That's a mutual acquaintance of these two men. Think of all the members that have possibly interacted with these two.
Oh, Colt Cabana.
There you go. Colt Cabana. It's gonna now maybe I'm thinking too far off, like I tend to sometimes with these things, but Dark Order could end up getting involved. Colt Cabana could probably come out, get involved somehow between Punk and I mean, last time we heard Punk and Cabana weren't cool. Who knows? Maybe
I don't see Colt Cabana wanting any of to steal Montez his wonderful line. I don't see him wanting that smoke. I don't see him wanting that at all. So yeah, yeah, I don't see Colt Cabana wanting any part of CM Punk. Not at this stage. I don't see that. I'm with you though. There's a chance he could come out and show his face, but like you said, maybe they make up and he's out there on behalf of CM Punk and we don't know.
And plus, y'all probably know this, but for those y'all that don't know that are watching right now, CM Punk and Colt Cabana, they had a stable called the Second City Saints. Mm-hmm. Who was the third member? Ace Steel. Where is Ace Steel now? He's in AEW as a producer. Yeah, he's 49, but Edge is 49 too and can still do it after taking damn near a decade off. So, maybe I'm overthinking it, but we could see that happening. It could happen.
There's one more name that that we haven't said that, like you said, is kind of connected to this whole situation. We haven't seen him in a while, and I'm thinking this with about 30 days until this Forbidden Door show, that pops up. What if Kenny Omega wants to reclaim the title?
Okay, that would be interesting.
Him and Adam Page used to run together. Kenny Omega and CM Punk, they go way back to the early Japan days, back when Kenny was still trying to break into the business. So, that's another connection there that, for AEW as well as for this particular match, will be quite important.
They need to make that match between CM Punk and Kenny Omega happen. If AEW does not take advantage of that, that is a tragedy.
I need
Like,
it. We need a build though. We don't want that to get thrown together for the sake of a dream match. That we have to have a proper build for that. So let's let that happen. Let's let that happen.
could you imagine
I could take a couple of CM Punk and Hangman back to back. So I could see a couple of rematches with that.
Could you imagine the smack they would talk to each other? CM Punk telling Kenny, "Oh, you couldn't make it. Yeah, I went over to the other company, but you couldn't make it, so you ran and took your ball to Japan and had to." And then Kenny Omega's like, "Yeah, well, at least I stuck to myself. You didn't even find yourself until an old man told you what to say on the mic, and so on." I could imagine. Hey, it could be. Yeah, there could be some shots fired between those two.
Most definitely.
Yeah, that would definitely be a match to see. But I'm gonna go honestly speaking. I think I'm gonna go with this is a tough one, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Adam Page. I think he's gonna hold on for this this title a bit longer, but it's gonna be another one, another classic too. And it's man, this is gonna be a match to see. It's gonna be hard hitting. So that's pretty much the card. Those are all the matches that we covered. So with that being said, does anybody have any final predictions as to what's going to happen to any of these matches? Any alliances that may form, alliances that may end, heel turns, face turns, surprise appearances, any of that stuff?
I mean, it's AEW. You never know. I'm pretty sure somebody's going to debut from somebody, WWE that got cut. A lot of 30-day clauses and stuff like that are up. A lot of probably like 3 months. I think they got like 90 days. Their 3 months are up for some of them. Pretty sure somebody's going to show up.
Yeah, but I'm sick and tired. It's getting too cliche now, man. Like, oh, look, another AEW another great AEW pay-per-view. Oh, look, who's getting saved from WWE now? Who's getting a second chance courtesy of Uncle Tony saving them? I mean, for once, I would like to hear we signed the Briscoes, or we signed this person from Impact, or just something that would make fans because it's just getting too predictable now. Like, oh, this person gets cut from WWE. Where they're gonna go? Probably AEW. Like,
Well, you have to remember
it's getting
now,
crazy.
Tony Khan is doing something great for the business that hasn't really been done since the territory days. He's allowing folks to have multifaceted FaceTime on different TV shows. So with the alliance with Ring of Honor, with the um, ability for folks to appear on Impact television, um, Samoa Joe has a title for Ring of Honor. We've had the Impact Tag Team Champions with the Good Brothers on the TV show. Kenny Omega held every title under the sun and has put it on the show. So you have possibilities now for folks to have true quality matches on a lot of these different platforms that technically could fly under the AEW banner, but can also participate, on different shows. Because we've seen, Jay White, Sling Blade, he's a major fixture for Impact, but yet he's been on the show. For the women's title, you brought up Mia Yim. She was just recently signed by Impact. So there's a very good chance that, she could, make an appearance on the show. As well as a handful of other guys. There's Moose, um, the new champion over at Impact. Is Josh Alexander? Is that his name?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
He's amazing. So there's a lot of different options. There's a lot of different ways that we can go. I'm the only heel turn that I'm looking forward is if Jurassic Express loses and they start to take on the mentality of Christian, because Christian Cage has been acting real ornery. He's been acting real angry old manish recently. So I could really see him, really doing something to really get some fire in the Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Um, and then even with that, I know House of Black, is probably coming in, with the heel tag, but there's a chance that Death Triangle, the brutality just comes across as a heel versus heel, type of format. There's a lot of options here. We have a lot of options now. If AEW could pull this off, if you could give me a Wardlow MJF double turn and turn MJF into a sympathetic figure based off the carnage that hopefully Kathy and I that we predicted that we get, I really think that could take it over the top. If there's a way that we could get another Stone Cold Bret Hart moment, that the greatest double turn of my personal memory, it could really set this show leaps and bounds, to take, all these wonderful spots from back in the day and being able to reinvent them. I think that could be great. So that's all for me.
Yeah, that would be something if you get MJF to be a sympathetic figure and Wardlow to be a monster. That would be a miracle because MJF is pretty much set in his ways of being MJF. He's
Hmm.
that's like it'll have to take something very special for him to actually turn face. That's kind of like when I see MJF, I see Rick Rude. Rick Rude's a guy you could never see turning face, and it just wouldn't suit him either. You
And we're
know,
talking about a guy who's throwing his pending free agency in 2 years in the face of his boss and every wrestling fan across the world. So we'll see. I
yeah,
mean, you never know. You never know.
yeah, he could throw it, but I mean, you can go sign with WWE, but will it be the same? I mean, Bret Hart got mad at his boss and punched him in the face when he got the Montreal school job, went WCW, and what happened there? I mean, sans the Goldberg kick to the head that ended his career. Could any of y'all tell me that was the same Bret Hart? That it
Oh, it
felt the
definitely
same?
wasn't. But if you can prove to Vince, and hopefully in 2 years, hopefully we're saying if you can prove to Trip, because hopefully Triple H, takes over. Um, I'm not gonna lie, guys. That MJF versus the Miz, I don't even need to see the match. I just want the promos. I just want the promos.
MJF versus the Miz. That would be, oh man, that would be crazy. Um, Speaking of which, while we might not get the Miz, I would not mind seeing MJF versus Johnny Elite. I would not mind seeing what he would have to say against that. Um, if MJF were to go against the Miz, I would say the Miz would probably have to be the good guy because Miz would probably be tell him like you had everything handed to you. You lived off your parents' money and trust fund, and everything was given to you. While I had to go on a reality show, make something of myself, you know, have people doubt me because I didn't grow up in the business and made something of myself, becoming a Hollywood A-lister, etc., etc. And then MJF would be like, Hollywood A-lister, okay. When was your last theatrical release? Because I didn't see it. Last time I remember, it was on direct to DVD. I could see him saying something like that. So it
I
would
don't
be
know if
interesting.
the Miz can't be a babyface, but the anti-hero, I'm with you. Give me heel MJF, anti-hero, the Miz, where he's defending, his legacy. He's defending the E. I think that would be a great thing. But yeah, like you said, Remy, those points that you made, those are great. So I could see it, and actually I hope they make it happen. So Triple H, Tony Khan Vince McMahon, if you ever hear this, the Forbidden Door concept shouldn't just be a New Japan Pro Wrestling AEW thing. Let's get a AEW versus WWE. Let's open that back up. I guarantee you, the dream match is there. Now that's a 13 match card I'd love to sit through.
Oh wow, that would be something. Kathy, what you got over there? You kind of silent.
What you mean? What I got?
got
We talked about like debuts and stuff, but I would think like I want to see a return. I want Miro. Where's he at? I know you like filmed shows and stuff, but bring back Miro.
With CJ.
Yeah.
With the wife.
And put him back in the TNT title contention.
Yeah,
He's
but
been gone too long.
Please, no more implied cuckolding and all that stuff. Please don't do that. Part of my French people, but I mean, I just had to say it. None of that. Oh, you're sleeping with somebody, you're pregnant with their baby, and Miro's looking all sad, like he's about to, like.
Yeah, I think each wrestler is due one really bad relationship gimmick in their very infancy of their career. So hopefully we don't have to see that again.
Yeah, that was. Ugh. Thank goodness for MVP getting Bobby out of that, because that didn't. You could have done without that, but
I don't need eyebrows to get your chick. Quote Bobby Lashley.
There you go. Yeah. So honestly, I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing much. I'm just looking forward to the pay-per-view. I got a feeling. Part of me, like I said, with the CM Punk match, part of me has a feeling that Dark Order might play a part. Who knows? But overall, like I'm excited for this card. Like it's definitely gonna be one of those cards to remember. Just like the last one. I think the last one was Adam Page versus Adam Cole, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one as well. So, with that being said, I'm not gonna hold y'all up anymore. So, but to those of y'all that have y'all's opinions about what's gonna happen on the card, feel free to leave them in the comments below. We're also gonna try to have some polls on Twitter where y'all can actually click who y'all think is gonna win and so on. So look out for that. And with that being said, Mike, I just gotta, we just gotta thank you for actually taking time out of your busy schedule to be on our show. We really appreciate it. It's great to see you again. And yeah, so for those, you're actually in Atlanta, home of the Nightmare Factory. I'm actually jealous of you because I actually really want to go and see one of those shows down there. We've had so many guests from that school, and I'm like, I want to see one of these showcases one day. So hopefully one day I get the chance to go down there. And also shout out to your friend Dean Hiram. I know he's recovering right now.
Yep, Dean is he's doing great. He's healthy. He's taking care of himself and the family. But he's getting back to get ready to. I'm not sure if he's going to make a return, but we're definitely getting back into training. Shout out to Trip Jordy, Diamond Sheik, American Werewolf, all those guys from the factory. Those guys are doing big things. Rude Dragon's doing some great things. And watch out for my guy, Tyson Maddox. He's doing some great things. I think they have a show tomorrow in Douglasville, Georgia. So, shout out to them.
Tyson Matt, was he in class 6, class 5, class 4?
He wasn't a part of the Nightmare Factory show, but he's had a couple of matches on Dark as well as AAA. He's done a lot of different things, domestic as well as in Mexico. So he's a guy to watch out for.
Okay, awesome. I'll definitely watch out for him. But y'all got a lot of great talent down there. And I always look forward to that. I got to look at the showcase 4 now. But y'all got a lot of great talent there. Kid Bandit's doing his thing too. Rude Dragon. I saw Rude Dragon go back to East Bay Pro, I think it was, and he threw a fireball on somebody's face too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
that's his thing.
Yeah, that was definitely a moment. But yeah, man. Hey, thank you very much for actually taking time out of your schedule to be on our show. We really appreciate it. With that being said, where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling and all that good stuff, and also all things Nightmare Factory.
They can find me on Instagram, MGTHADON, MG the Don. That's your boy Mike Glove. Appreciate you.
Awesome. And with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. My eyelids are getting kind of heavy. My stomach is rumbling. That means it's time for a snack and a nap. Maybe not in that order. But before I take part in those activities, Kathy Knight, the Lauren Hill to my Wyclef Jean. Where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling, all things Becky Lynch and Paige, and also check out your editing videos and all that good stuff?
So I'm on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and Discord, all at BLUE70517. And tomorrow you can catch me at Rise of the Vixens 3. I will be wearing our Ringside Society shirt, so come say hi.
Awesome. Yes, tomorrow. So if you're in Houston, Texas, right? If you're in Houston, Texas, make sure you check out Vixen Wrestling Revolutions. It's their Rise of the Vixens 3 show. I call it their big show. They're pretty much their WrestleMania. Scott, please don't kick my butt for saying that. It's just what I think. But definitely, if you're in Houston, Texas, or any of the surrounding areas, definitely check them out. You have a lot of interesting people on that card, like Kylan King, Hyan, a lot of huge names, a lot of popular females, on that card. So definitely check it out. You don't want to miss it. I'd also, if you can't be there in person, you can also check it out on Title Match Network from the comfort of your own homes. You will not be disappointed. Trust me, they do great work over there in Texas. I'm actually jealous of you right now, Kathy, because I'm over here in New York. I mean, we got good stuff over in New York, but I mean, something about the Texas scene, man, that just gets you. But definitely check out Vixen Wrestling Revolution. And yes, we're sponsoring Kylan King. Kylan, all the best to you in your match. Hope you pull it out. That way, when you win your match, we can actually say, yeah, we sponsor winners. We sponsored the champ. Might even make a T-shirt out of that. So with that being said, check it out. If you want to find me on social media, you can find me on Twitter at the Remy Blue. You can also find me on Twitch. Instagram at the Remy Blue. And I'm also on Facebook under the alias Remy Blue. So check me out there. Just a heads up, I don't normally have a lot of interesting stuff to say, but who knows? Maybe you'll catch me one day. Our podcast is also on social media. We're on Twitch at Ringside Society 2019, Instagram and Twitter at Ringside Society. We're also on Facebook as a Facebook group, and we're also on Blog Talk, Spotify, and YouTube, where you can find a lot of cool interviews and prediction panels like this one. We have interviews with people like Katie Hebner, Inevitable Michael Martinez, The Assassin, AK, even Dean Hiram. So definitely check us out. When you go on YouTube, all you gotta do is type in Ringside Society. You'll see that sweet OMG dark blue and light blue yin yang sign with the blue flames around it. That's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and you don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998. And last but not least, we also have a Teespring store, which is where we have official Ringside Society merchandise. We have T-shirts, we have tank tops for the summer, we have hoodies, long sleeve shirts, and we also have coffee mugs for your favorite warm beverage. So make sure you check out our store, cop some merchandise. All proceeds go back into keeping this show afloat. And with that being said, we just want to thank everybody tuning in tonight live to listen to us about our predictions. To those of y'all that are going to listen later on, thank you very much in advance. And those of y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we'd go away, well, like myself at the Golden Corral and Kathy Knight at Cafe Du Monde in New Orleans for the buy one, get one free special, we ain't going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
And we ain't stopping. And man, Rob, where you at, man? This is getting weird. I'm normally accustomed to you saying that, but Kathy, but anyways, at least somebody's saying it. But yes. So with that being said, we just want to let everybody know that we're very well aware that everybody and their grandparents and their parents have a podcast. But we're not we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hashtag we are not the same. Hey, yo, Kathy Knight, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture. one time for AEW Double or Nothing 2022, and one time for ATL Zone Mike Glove.
Woo!
What type of podcast are we?
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right, we're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, and we will be back next week with more impressive guests on more impressive episodes. But until then, we just want y'all to do 4 favors for us. That's right, 4, just 4. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
Bye.